My name is Peter Zalmayev. I'm director of the Eurasia Democracy Initiative, and I'm a Ukrainian American. I've lived in the US for the past 25 years. And you just mentioned at the outset of your speech that we're dealing with an anomalous president. And he's also been quite anomalous when it comes to some of the meetings he's been having, some of the outreach. It seems that Donald Trump likes to meet with some less than democratic heads of state, such as Al-Sisi and Erdogan. He's made some flattering comments about Putin, sometimes to the detriment, it seems to me, when it comes to America's relationship with its traditional allies, including in Western Europe. So you also mentioned Trump's education curve when it comes to Eastern Ukraine and the conflict here. What has been your experience as far as whether Donald Trump has modified his views when it comes to NATO, especially following Macron's victory in France? And as someone who I trust has the president's ear, what is your message to him daily when it comes to America's Western alliance? And that, of course, affects Ukraine.
Well, look, I was an Army brat. We lived in France when the Fourth Republic was killed by the paratroopers and de Gaulle was brought back. I lived in Orléans because we were still on French territory. De Gaulle kicked us out, and we had to leave France. I've seen the NATO evolve in a variety of ways. George W. Bush and Donald Rumsfeld, as his Secretary of Defense, said to the Europeans every year, "You're not doing your fair share. You have to do more." Trump said the same thing on television. I mean, he didn't say anything dramatically different. Second, since the fall of the Soviet Empire, we've been saying about NATO, it has to rethink what it's doing because it was designed to sustain West Germany if there was an inter-German, if the Russians decided to attack across the inter-German border. And that's the heart of NATO in 1949. Well, it's relatively unlikely, it's not impossible, but it's relatively unlikely that you're going to get a Russian direct conventional attack on Western Europe. So what's the purpose of NATO? It turned out when they tried to do something in Libya, if we didn't provide targeting and we didn't provide tankers, they couldn't get there. I mean, they had very limited capacity. And so I think a lot of what Trump has said, remember, Trump is a deal maker, he's a negotiator, and he will always start hard. So he's always going to start, we ought to consider giving up NATO. Oh, well, maybe we should at least negotiate about NATO. Okay, I want you to do at least 2% of your GDP. But he first gets your attention. And I don't see him, I mean, they've already announced that he and Macron are going to get together in, I think at the G8 meeting and have a 2 or 3 hour meeting, have a long lunch, I guess. He's met with Merkel. He loves Theresa May and has gotten it together with her. He's going to meet with the Italian president when he's in Italy at the same time he's going to the Vatican. On the other hand, if you want to defeat ISIS, strikes me Al-Sisi is a pretty good guy to talk to. The king of Jordan's a pretty good guy to talk to. So I'm not quite sure what the complaint would be in terms of who he sees. He does not have a partiality for people who are running authoritarian regimes. But I do think he has an instinct for bringing people together into large partnerships. Most of his business career was partnerships. And I think he thinks you need a partnership to destroy ISIS. And he is determined to destroy ISIS, not just to play around with it, but to get rid of it. Erdogan is a different problem. Erdogan is going to be a problem for all of us. He's an authoritarian. He wants to replace Ataturk as the central organizing figure. He is moving Turkey away from secularism back towards Islamization. And at the same time, we rely on Turkey for a huge air base. We rely on Turkey for helping fight the ISIS and others. So there's a real balancing act, I think, involved there.